Hi, this is Joseph Spivey again, and this is the second video introducing you to Calculus 2 in fall 2016. So in the last video, we talked a good deal about Moodle and what to find on the Moodle website. And in this video, we'll talk about some of the highlights from the syllabus. So if I go to Moodle, I can find the syllabus right here. And again, I want you to take a look at this and read this carefully yourself. But I just want to look at some of the highlights. So don't think that this video is a substitute for reading the whole syllabus, but this does remind you of some of the most important points from that syllabus. So there's my office hours, which I think I've already talked about. Some of the information about the course. Here are some of the goals of the course, some of the topics that we'll be covering in the course, so you can take a look at that later on. Right. The technology section lists some technologies that we'll be using in the class. So we've already talked a good deal about Moodle. We also talked about WebAssign, the online homework system. And we talked a good deal about the textbook player and the free Wolfram CDF player that you need to install in order to read the textbook. Right? The two that we didn't talk about are PathBright and calculators. So PathBright is an online system that you'll use to submit your proofs portfolio that counts as the first exam grade. I'll give you a lot more information about how to use PathBright and what that proofs portfolio looks like later on, but I just wanted to throw that out there and let you know that that is a component of the course. Also, you'll need a graphing calculator for this course. Okay, so you'll be able to use the graphing calculator on the homework and on tests as long as the calculator does not do symbolic differentiation and integration. So for instance, the TI-89 is not allowed and the TI-Inspire is not allowed. A lot of students choose the TI-83 or the TI-84 or the TI-83 Plus or the TI-84 Plus. Those sorts of calculators are great for this class. Note that if you don't have a graphic calculator already, before you go out and buy one, I would absolutely ask some of your friends, ask your roommate, your teammates, ask some people you've met if they have a calculator that they would be willing to let you borrow. Because chances are you will be able to find someone with a graphing calculator that would let you use them for this class, so you don't have to go out and buy one yourself, because they're not cheap. All right. There are reading assignments posted every night, so you should definitely read the textbook. I think that's important. Notice that the test will cover the material from class discussion and material from the reading. So make sure you do the homework. The reading. So we talked a little bit about WebAssign. One thing I did not talk about, I think, in the last video is this guy right here. So WebAssign will be graded for accuracy. And so I know that sometimes students, sometimes you miss deadlines. Sometimes you've got a paper due and you can't do the homework for this class or whatever. And I understand that. So you can get a 48-hour extension on any homework assignment, on any WebAssign homework assignment. It will be for 75% credit. That 75% credit is for the stuff that you have not submitted yet. So for instance, if you were able to do half the assignment and you got half the assignment right, but you just didn't have time to complete the other half of it, then you'll get a 25% penalty on the stuff you have not completed yet. The stuff that you've already completed, you'll go ahead and that credit you already get. That makes sense. You're not penalized for the stuff that they've done before the due date. Right? And there's a way in WebAssign to request an automatic extension, and that's what you want to do. You want to request an automatic extension, and it's automatically granted. So if you need to use that, if you're late for any reason whatsoever, then go ahead and use that. If, on the other hand, you need an extension because of a death in the family, or you were in the hospital, or something like that, I'm happy to give you extensions on homework for those sorts of reasons with no penalty at all. You don't want to use the automatic extension. You just want to email me directly to get an extension. And I'll give you those extensions on a case-by-case basis based on what the circumstances are. Right. There is a participation component in the class. During many classes, we'll be breaking up into groups and doing work in groups. And so those assignments will be graded. Not only, it's like how well you interact with your team and how good a team member you are, that sort of thing will be graded, and that will go towards your participation grade in the class. Okay. Here's the attendance policy, and I'm not going to go over this in detail, but it is important that you note that you need some sort of documentation for an absence to be considered excused. Okay. If you know that you're going to be gone from a class for a job interview or whatever, please let me know ahead of time. Otherwise, it's going to be an unexcused absence. Obviously, if you're sick or something, you can't, you don't know you're going to be out of class. That's different. And this contains information about how I'm going to deal with missed assignments due to excused or unexcused absences. So I expect you to take a look at that yourself. Right. Notice also that it is your responsibility, not the instructor's, to arrange a meeting after an absence to find out what was missed. So please go ahead and do that yourself. This is important. No student with 3 or more unexcused absences will be permitted to drop the course with a passing grade. All right. Here's information about the tests. There are 3 in-class tests, and there's 1 portfolio that will also count as a test grade, but again, I'm going to give you more information about that later on. Okay. Here's how the grade breaks down. So participation will count 15%, the final exam will count 20%, tests and quizzes will count 40%, and homework will be the last 25%. So that's how your grade will break up in this class. And this is what the letter grades look like. Take a look at that chart to see what's what. Right. One thing that I do want to let you know is this following paragraph is important. It is the policy of the mathematics department that professors strictly enforce the WP, WF grade policy. So I want to tell you what a WP and a WF is. A WP is a grade that you get if you need to withdraw from the class in the middle of the class, midway through the semester, and you have a passing grade. That WP shows up in your transcript, but does not count towards your GPA in any way at all. So that's a good thing, right? You don't want that to count. And it can be replaced if you take the class and pass the class later on, then that grade is replaced, right? That WP is replaced. However, if you are failing the class and you'd like to withdraw, then you are assigned a grade of WF. And WF means withdrawal failing, and it does count as an F towards your GPA. And that's not a good thing. That's not what you want. Right? So the mathematics department strictly enforces that distinction. There are some classes, some professors, some departments that will give students WP grades regardless of whether or not they're passing the class, but that's not true of the mathematics department. And the reason the mathematics department has that policy is really just to ensure that students are doing their homework and keeping up with their homework. So if you're doing your homework and coming to class, that sort of thing, you're going to be passing the class. You don't need to worry about this, okay? But you do need to do your homework in order to be able to do that, right? So I just need to let you guys know about that particular policy of the mathematics department. There's information about when the final exams are going to be, so take a look at that. Here's information about the honor code. Let's see. So it's important that you understand the work that you turn in, and copying another student's homework is a breach of the honor code. So when you do your homework, your WebAssign homework or whatever, these are the sources that you can use. Okay, you are allowed to use these sources. Those are fine. If it's not on that list, you're not allowed to use it as a source on homework. Okay. So notice that you can use our class textbook, you can use me, you can use your own personal class notes, your graphing calculator, Moodle site, other students, you can talk to them about what's going on in class, and an official math tutor or an official peer tutor, right? And one other thing, I'm fine if you use technology like Wolfram Alpha, Mathematica. There are websites that will help you do homework questions, right? Well, that will do integrals out for you step by step and show you what to do. I am fine if you use those as long as you do so responsibly. An irresponsible use would be doing all your homework using these without understanding what's going on at all, right? A responsible use would be if you attempt a problem a couple of times and just keep getting it wrong over and over again. You turn to the website, you look at the steps to do that problem, you type in that answer, you get that one right, that sounds good. You don't go to the website again, you use what you learned from the website to do the next one, okay? So that's what I would consider responsible use, okay? So make sure that if you use technology, those sort of technologies, that it is responsible use and not irresponsible, right? So make sure you understand that distinction. If you have questions, let me know. Again, I think that these websites and resources can be really valuable as long as you use them responsibly. Right? And finally, here are the topics that we'll be covering and sort of the order we'll be covering them in. Here's when fall break is, here's when exam 1, exam 2 is, etc. Those exam dates are pretty much set in stone, so I'm definitely going to have exam 2, for instance, is going to be on November 7th, so go ahead and put those in your calendar now. If you have any other questions about the course policies or anything in the syllabus, please let me know. Any question you have about the class in general, I'd be happy to take those questions. That is a very quick introduction to the policies of the class, and again, you can find more details by reading the document carefully. All right, so thank you very much.